welcome everyone to Nerd TV for the Full Throttle Sim Racing League. It's a different site than normal. If you've been paying attention each and every week to our broadcast, you know that tonight is not the trucks, it's not Cup, it's an all-star event. This is the pre-race before the Monday actual all-star race. So these guys tonight are looking to qualify in. We got 3 segments for tonight for the this qualifying race. It's 25 laps, competition yellow, 25 laps, competition yellow, and a nice little 10-lap shootout to end the thing. It's going to transfer 3 guys over to the main event. You'll catch on Nerd TV on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, on wherever you watch our streams at. So it should be an awesome one. Haven't done an all-star type event broadcast before, so it's new to most of us here at Nerd TV, and we're gonna have a blast doing so. And it's a little fun. We don't have to keep track of stats. It's just a great time. And I'm on your left-hand side of your screen as always to start these broadcasts. And to my right is Pashibi Nick. How are you doing? To my right, man.
I'm doing great, Jeremy. I'm excited for this All-Star Open. See who we can get moving on to the All-Star race on Monday. 3 open spots there, as you mentioned. We're in the 87s. These are fun cars. These are a handful. They're a blast to drive. I know we've messed with them a couple times, so I'm excited to watch this one. I like how they switched it up a little bit, so this will be exciting.
Yeah, we were just talking to Brody before we kicked it live, and he's pumped. That's the league admin. If you haven't known by now, Brody Hanna. He is super pumped to have these cars on track for the Full Throttle Sim Racing, and I think it's actually one of his favorite cars, really. And he's excited that you have to drive the thing. The car doesn't drive you; like you have to drive the car. Massive tire wear he's describing to us, and differences out here, Ken. A little bit different rule book. Caution laps do not count. Of course, it's an all-star event, so it's very minimal laps already. 60 total with the 2 25-lap segments and then a 10-lap to finalize the thing. And then they run this little shielding thing that everything does too, to where if you hit the wall, the car will kind of self-repair itself. So pretty cool. It gives everyone equal an opportunity chance. If someone gets wrecked on lap 1, they just get that thing repaired. If not, it repairs itself, and they're good to go. So it should be a great event to watch.
Yeah, change it up a little bit, make it fun. This is an expedition race, so off week for these guys here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. We finished up the Cup Series Championship on Monday. Congrats to Richie Coy taking home that, as well as Bobby Trail taking home the Truck Championship last Wednesday. So this is a fun time, fun week, excitement in these cars as well. So it's just an all-around, it's going to be a good night, Jeremy. It's going to be fun. I think Brody's going to join us for a little bit, jump up in here. We'll get a perspective from him, though, as you mentioned, the league owner. So there'll be a lot of different changes going on compared to what you're used to.
And every single car out here has got some type of throwback feel. Of course, these are 1987 cars, but with these modern times, sometimes people like to change it up, but not this league. All these guys are running old school schemes. You see Darrell Waltrip. We see Earnhardt just lick the turn 4 sand/tire or water barrels there, and he's on 2 wheels trying to get that thing moving, but no, there he goes. That was Mr. Jeff Langston in that number 11 blue and yellow Wrangler Chevrolet. Quick notation, speaking of numbers on these cars, you will catch 2 cars that have the number 7 on the door panel. Steven Vrooman is one of those guys. He's actually the number 3. So we're going to call him by the number 3, and that's that red, white, and green Mountain Dew Chevrolet. So just a quick notation on that. But looks like we have about 10 cars that should be starting this thing. And as each one completes the lap 25, 25, and 10 as your race leader, they will park it because they are qualified for the event. So keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, and I don't think Nicholas Casey is going to be making it tonight. Brody Hanna kind of mentioned that he's just running some practice laps, so I think that might drop us down to 9, which, help for some other guys, because we know Nicholas Casey's fast, so that's one less guy out there that you got to worry about. Kind of opens up a spot for a little bit more. We got 3 of them, as you mentioned, basically some sprints here, Jeremy. We got 25-lap sprints, and I love that we're not counting cautions just in case, because these things are a handful, and, you might catch it sideways, especially with these guys pushing it, trying to make it to that spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And but before we kick it to qualifying, too, please join us on the chats. They are wide open. I got my eye on the YouTube feed right now. I think it brings in all the other chat systems into the YouTube feed, but join us on Twitch. Join us on Facebook Gaming. Chat with us. It's a one-off event. We're here to have fun. That's it. There's no points. There's no just bragging rights essentially. So join us. We'll gladly read out what you got out there. And as I was saying, that qualifying has started. So, but this is routine. We are going to kick us off the screen here and give those thank yous still to the people that allow us to do this every Monday and Wednesday. As you know, they have no off season essentially. They're going to go right into it next week with the truck series to kick off. But first and foremost, the league Full Throttle Sim Racing, the one you are watching on your screen right now. I've been doing this for a long time, and this is the off season technically for 1 week. So this is the best time to hop over to FTSR.net, get registered. Cup Series, Truck Series, they got ARCA, and then on Saturdays they got this little fun mixture of Pro 4s mixed in with Lotus 79. That in itself is going to be a pretty kick-ass series, I would imagine. So they all start around 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Head over to FTSR.net, get registered. And thank you to Sim Racing Points, the Truck Series official sponsor every Wednesday for you guys at Full Throttle Sim Racing. It's your all-inclusive league points management system that allows owners and admins to completely track their league stats and points with a simple upload. But they don't stop there for your webmasters. They also allow custom widgets to completely customize your website on how you want to display those points and results. And it displays a crap ton of stats too. It's not just a little bit. If you head over to FTSR.net, you can see exactly what they display. It's crazy. And a good price point too. So go to simracingpoints.com and check out the pricing plans and the product. It's pretty awesome. It's going to be your best friend. Martin Sports, home of the sim gloves of all sim racing. They make the most breathable and durable gloves in the sim racing world. But they also specialize in customized t-shirts, hoodies, and hats. And I keep mentioning every week, and I'm going to keep mentioning it because the pre-orders are open, especially for the new Nerd Swag lineup with the gauntlet-style gloves for the Nerditudes. It's got the fun digital throwback look with a digital analog watch type look. Pretty neat, really. And the pre-orders are open. And if you use that promo code that we always advertise, what you see in the ad box right there on the bottom, the green text, it says Super Nerd. Make sure to type that in, and you get a whopping 25% off everything you purchase from martinsports906.com. Thank you to iRacing, iFlag, the official flag partner for the Nerditudes. It's that 64 light emitting diode LED matrix system. It brings you 30 different notifications that iRacing throws at you. And that includes all your flags. That includes your spotter commands like high, low, whatever it's got to tell you. This system's got it for you on a neat little 6x4 3D printed unit. Sits on your desk. Super bright. Keeps you focused on the track and everything that's ahead of you. Head over to iRacingIFlag.com. When you do purchase his product, make sure to use Super Nerd once again at checkout, this time for 15% off his product. And then thank you to thebuttkicker.com, the official audio enhancement partner for the Nerditudes, especially that Gamer 2 unit. I talk about it every week. It's basically like a movie D-Box-like experience. It just brings all the bumps and feels on the racing surface directly on your butt in whatever chair that you're racing in, and it easily attaches too. It's really not a hard process to set up, and it just gives you that much needed feel to perform at your peak performance in any racing event. So head over to thebuttkicker.com. Make sure to use that promo code as always. This time, NerdTV, 20% off everything you purchase at thebuttkicker.com. To Nerd Focus, official energy partner for the Nerditudes. Make sure you use that promo code SUPERNERD for 10% off whenever you try out their two amazing flavors. Green label is sugar, blue label is sugar-free, and that's it. There's no deciding. It's just, do you want sugar or not? Either way, the drink's amazing tasting. It's going to keep you hyper-focused for whatever you have needed for it. So once again, that's nerdfocus.com. To Moonlight Speed Concepts, the official asphalt setup provider for the Nerditudes. Professional built setups from the ground up to get you those much needed wins that you're looking for on any asphalt oval racetrack that you're looking for, whether it be late models all the way up to the Cup Series. They got you covered there, and they come at a really good price as well. So go to moonlightspeed.com, or you can follow them on Twitter or join their Discord. They're constantly updating these setups. They're getting the driver's feedback, and they're just kick-ass setups. They've already picked me up a couple of wins, and that's saying a lot for my talent. So once again, moonlightspeed.com. And then head over to thehouseofspeed.us. That's the same kind of setups, but for dirt, anything dirt oval related. Again, professional setups, and they're going to get you those wins. And the setups are great. They drive on tacky surfaces. They drive on the slick surface. Whatever kind of racing that you have for them on the oval side, they got you covered. That's once again houseofspeed.us. And as you see on your screen, these cars are kicked over at a 40-degree angle. That's classic Charlotte for starting order. And Kenny, let's go ahead and go down that running order.
Yeah, we got 9 that's going to be taking the track tonight. Got the pole on this one. Gil Gok going to roll off first. Wayne Grossi having a heck of a run as the weight, going off second. Joshua Johnson rolling off third. Jeff Langston in fourth. Rolling off fifth is Stephen Woomis. Sixth, Chad Wayne. Seventh, Jeff Bratton. Eighth, Stephen Verman. And rolling out ninth is going to be James Torrey.
It looks like that's going to be your field, 9 cars. And as the first 25 laps do conclude, that's going to bring out the race leader at that point, because he's going to be locked into the main event on Monday. And then they're just going to, bump up one position. There's no flip-flopping of drivers during the comp caution. So you're going to have 3 different people that are going to be locked into Monday's race when this thing is all said and done after the 60 laps are over. Remember, caution laps do not count as well. The competition yellow is going to be thrown by the admin as soon as they cross the line for lap 26, lap 51, and, of course, the race end. Outside of that, you probably won't see a caution unless deemed very necessary. These guys like to rely on the, the in-game system for flags. So you might see it, but probably not. Should be some good racing. And speaking of the good racing, I think we have a guy that might have a thing or two to say about this thing. Mr. Brody Hanna, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, man, I know you were talking to us about these cars and whatnot during the pre-race show. We've talked a decent amount about it, but I know you have some things you want to throw in everyone's ear about the racing tonight.
Man, this is my favorite race of the season. It always is. Just doing this All-Star Open race. You got some guys in there that are fought hard all season and not quite got to victory lane. But tonight's their night to kind of shine. Who's going to put on a good show. We'll see who steps up and who's able to claim these victories tonight and get themselves into the All-Star race.
Now, I know there's always like an opinion of who's going to beat who tonight. Do you have early picks as far as who you think might be locked in for Monday?
It's tough, man. Just looking at the times, but one guy kind of stands up to me that I'm surprised hasn't got a win yet is Wayne Grossi. I think he's going to step up. I think he's one of the guys tonight. But you got a whole field full of guys. You got Chad Lane back there who's been really fast. Gil Gok got the pole there. He's showing speed. You got Josh Johnson back there. You've got a lot of guys in this field that could step up and take these wins tonight.
Yeah, I'm surprised Wayne Grossi has not found himself in victory lane yet. But I think tonight's tonight. I think I'm on your side here. I think he's got an excellent chance to do so, and he starts second place. So front row is not a bad place to start here.
Absolutely, guys.
I appreciate those words, Brody. We're about to go green flags. These guys are in turn number 4. They head off to the start-finish line here. We're going to see Mr. Gil Gok take the start here, waiting for the green flag. Mr. Larry to throw the flag. And it looks like it is out. Green flag is out. Looks like a pretty decent start here for everybody for the most part. They get a little hesitant in the back, and actually the 17 gets turned early on here before they get to turn number 1. No caution is out, but that's early implications there for Steve Loomis.
Yeah, we mentioned that little quick repair that we have going on here, so maybe he stayed off anybody for 3 seconds, so hopefully his car gets fixed back up, then get going. As you mentioned, no caution. They're heading in at 3 and 4 right now. Gil Gok still leading the way over the 7 of Wayne Grossi right now.
Yeah, that was, it looked like the 17 just had a trouble getting into the gear or whatnot. He had a good restart, and then his car just stalled. I'm not too sure exactly, but it looked like maybe a misshift and was not expected. Got tagged in the right rear there and got sent to the wall. So he's got some work to do, but it's 3 stages. He's not out of this thing, and these cars still repair. So it looks like he's already good to go. He's going to have to regroup and do the second stage and try to get that thing to the front.
As we see here, already battling. Sorry, go ahead, Barry.
I was just going to say these cars are a lot different than what these guys are used to, and one of those things is the H-padded shifter that we're using. A lot different than these guys, so I could see a little bit of an issue there with 17.
Yeah, especially for the Cup guys too. They're used to that paddle shifter. Now they got to go back to that really long H pattern there that these old 87 cars have. So, quite different feel all the way around. You know, there's no mechanical grip. It's all just about that Goodyear tire to get these things around the track, and especially going through the gears, it's a lot different. Like I said, if you're just only on the Cup cart, because at this point, halfway through the year, you're used to that paddle shifter, and so to grab that H pattern once again is, and actually the 11, heavy contact with the wall, the number 11, and then the number 3 there, Stephen Vroom, and someone's tire is off the car. Yep, it's the number 11 there, but that self-repair puts a new right front tire on, and it looks like his car is still good to go.
Yeah, that's quite a feature. I love seeing that because it's just that thing. I was watching the 11 there. He was kind of losing it a little bit. As we were mentioning earlier, these cars are just a handful and a little bit difficult coming off, and just caught it a little bit. And you see that wheel just go flying, but it's awesome to see it right back on, get right back in there, and catch back up in the race. But it's Gil Gox still leading the way strong with Wayne Grossi right there behind him, Jeremy. We see the 4 of Chad Lane. He's starting to close in on these two.
3-car breakaway there with and Gil's leading. And one thing I wanted to mention for you guys too is the tire wear. Watch the tire wear tonight. These tires wear immensely, and so it wouldn't surprise me to see somebody have strong runs here at the end of this run versus the speed at the beginning.
Yeah, that's a great point too. It only is 25 laps per segment here for the first 2 anyways, but even in 25 laps you can destroy these tires, and you might see someone back there like Josh Johnson that's 1.5 seconds out. He might make a breakout run here in the last 12 laps or so and get some work done. But as we're talking about that, the number 4 there, Chad Lang, making a move on the high side here at Charlotte around the number 7, Wayne Grossi, and trying to clear him for second place.
Yeah, we were looking through the chats too, Jeremy. We had Nicholas Casey, who he wasn't able to make the race tonight. He was just running practice. He's already in, I believe, on Monday. Brody can correct me if I'm wrong there, but he's rooting for Jeff Langston tonight. Rough start for Jeff, that early fix, but we still got 2 more segments to go, so there's still a chance for him to get in this thing.
I love seeing these cars move around, man. These guys are fighting this car. This car's a handful to drive. It makes it a lot of fun for the drivers. Did you see the 4-car going for the lead?
Yeah, these cars get tight, man. When you're side by side, there is not much grip. So if you need the whole track to get a good launch off these corners, and that number 4, Chad Lang's taking that from Gil Gawk, and you see that he clears him in the middle of the backstretch entering turn number 3. We have a new race leader for the first time tonight, Mr. Chad Lang in that number 4.
You know what I love seeing? He did it on the outside. He passed both those cars on the outside lane, using that top lane, giving the guys options. If you give the drivers options and they're able to move around, they have a lot more fun doing this. And so with these cars moving around like they did and moving around on the track, I'm sure they're having a blast out there.
And you mentioned he passed 2 cars there on the outside, just drove right around Wayne and Gil. And, Wayne was right on the back of Gil, and now he's sitting possibly going for first, is back in third. So, he's going to be up on the wheel. We saw as soon as they made that pass, he was all over the back of Gil. As Gil's closing back up on Chad Lane as they're coming off of 4, heading to the start-finish here.
Yeah, minus those progressive bank tracks, name me a time where the next-gen car has passed another car on the outside on iRacing. You probably can't find it. So to see it done here in the 87s, just with ease, it looks like that number 4, Chad Lang, was able to make those passes. But Gil Gawk's kind of reset. He's taking a stab at the inside here. Wayne Grossi is actually in the attack, too. It's making a nice little 3-car battle still for the race lead.
Well, you can run the outside. That's one thing I was going to talk about, too, is I think, you can abuse the tires up there, too. And I wonder if the 4 got his tires hot up there. And so he may be running out of grip, so now the bottom's where you want to be. So just moving around on the track and trying to figure out this car and where you can make the most grip.
He's making it stick right now. I mean, he's been battling up on the outside for the last 3 or 4 laps and holding strong. As you see, Gil Gawk is looking to make the pass, but that outside's being prevail right now. Chad Lang's going to be able to take that top spot back as they're heading down 3 and 4. But I see the 57 there of Josh Johnson. He's slowly making his way up to these guys as well.
Yeah, I've been kind of keeping an eye on him. He fell back to 1.8. Now he's 1.7. It looks like he's finally found that groove, and these race leaders are getting pretty racy. So that does nothing but help that number 57 to try to make a run back to the front here. You kind of staled out that time, still at 1.7 back, but we're only on lap number 11 of 25. So we still got just over halfway, as he said, 85, still trying to make that run on the bottom.
Well, that's what I was going to say too, guys. Is we've only completed 10 laps so far, so still 15 laps to go. Still a long way to go. And like you said, you're going to see the tires give up a little bit, and maybe just Josh will sit back there saving his stuff. Who knows? But definitely with these guys battling, it's gonna allow him maybe to inch in here.
See Wayne's all over the back of Gogok. He's just trying to. Oh, as he gets into the back of him there, he spins around, see if Go can save him. Got a caution out. First caution out tonight. Just Josh Johnson, 57, just missed him.
It looks like there was just too much of a check up there for that 85. It didn't look like the 7 did anything wrong. It just didn't have enough time to hit the brake and slow down enough. And these cautions do not count on the scoreboard. So right now is on lap 12. These guys will be restarting on lap 12 to start lap 13. So we still got, half the race to go, but it's going to take a few laps to get these things reset, get your pit stops in, get your fresh set of tires. And that's going to change some strategy around. Mr. Josh Johnson might be hoping that, that long road would come in, but now he's going to have to change it up to just cut his run in half there.
Everybody that's been involved in an accident so far just took a big breath there, because that's going to bring everybody back up to them. No pen, they had some issues back there off turn 4 early on. Brings everybody back in it, everybody back together. The 17's brought back on the back too, and so we're going to see another restart, another race. Now the question is, does anybody decide to stay out here and maybe try to get track position?
I was hoping you would say that, because we were talking before the race when saying possibly someone stay out and you have someone in the back make a pit. And if that someone in the back is Gil Gawk, which has a fast car, he could benefit greatly from that, 'cause, getting those fresh tires and moving his way back up through the field.
Now, I have a question. Go ahead.
I was going to say tires just make they mean a lot. So it looks like everybody's coming in.
Looks like everyone is coming in. My question was, we saw that number 11 of Jeff Langston get into the wall in the front stretch and lose a right front. Does he get a fresh set of tires there? Like when the tire's replaced from that repair damage, does the Iverson give him a fresh tire, or does it still stay worn out?
No, from my experience, it just replaces the same. You get the same wear that the tire had that fell off. I mean, it doesn't really change, so you'll have the same thing.
The 11 overshot the pit stall there. Had the back up and put it, and then we hear the 85 Gil Gawk got a stop and go as well. So just kind of adding a little bit to the insult there after that wreck. So hopefully he can fight his way back, but little mishaps here on pit road already.
And as you notice, these cars are taking a lot longer in pit road. These are basically simulating the 1987 pit stops. These guys don't have the high tech to change these cars. The jacks don't go up on a flick of a switch. So these pit stops are much longer, upwards of 20 seconds, depending on how the crew hits the jack and hits their mark. So much longer stops there, but overall looks like everyone was clean minus that number 11, and then 85, as you said, had that stop and go penalty, it looked like, or at least going to put them in the tail of the field.
Yeah, it's nice how they start adding this, just those little features, little touches. You expect you've been in the next gen cars or the trucks and all that pit stops taking, quicker pit stops, and then you get to these and you're like, what's going on? You're like, oh yeah, that's right. We're back in 1987 a little bit here. So it's nice to see that feature, and I love how everyone's running the old school paint jobs tonight as well. Just adds to that feeling.
And while we're underneath caution here, I would definitely do a quick shout out to Sim Racing Points. Talked about them during the qualifying. It's that all-inclusive league points management system that's much needed for a lot of admins, really. It takes away all the behind-the-scenes work. It does all the math, does all the calculations, gives you tons of stats. And it's really simple to use, and you can have full-page website displays. You can have just little widgets, alongside the page, whatever you want. That system's got you covered. Head over to simracingpoints.com and check out their pricing plans on their product. Once again, simracingpoints.com.
Yeah, we were actually using that earlier, looking at the winners for the series and trying to figure out who's eligible, who's not. I mean, it's great because you can look. It's got all the stats right there in front of you. You can sort by stats. It's a great program to have, and really happy to have it. Well, guys, I'm going to head back down and watch this race. I'm going to enjoy it from the spectators' standpoint, but you guys continue to do a great job. Looking forward to, the exciting racing here for sure, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope everybody watches enjoys it like we do.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate the time that we had with you in the booth. That was Brody Hanna, the admin, the league owner, for the Full Throttle Sim Racing. You can tell the excitement in his voice about these cars, and The racing so far has been pretty good up to this point, only halfway through the first stage here. We've seen some high side passes, which in the Cup car we don't see typically too often. Um, but kind of took away the tire strategy idea. These tires will fall off a lot, even in 25 laps. So, but that race being cut in half, it's only going to be a nice little 12 lap shootout. Let's see who were in the back last time can get a good start this time around. Maybe that number 17 proposes some threats as he works his way through the field.
Yeah, Josh Johnson, as you mentioned, or as we were talking about before we went there, was trying to save those tires. He's sitting, I believe, third spot right now. We ran 12 laps there, Jeremy, and we have 13 to go until this first segment's done. So if he can just kind of run that same strategy, he might pay off. He needs to push it a little bit more because he was also behind, at the lap 12, but kind of push it a little bit harder, and he might have it towards the end there. But I'm excited to get this thing going. I'm showing, the grid looks like it's showing a little bit different here, but we got Wayne Grossi starting out first here on this restart. So let's see if he can capitalize and take this thing a little further.
And I'm glad I mentioned that if you caught me in the pre-race saying about the two number 7s on track, that Steve Rumen there on the top side, he's actually supposed to be number 3. That should be fixed before Monday if he does qualify into the main event. But right now you're seeing two number 7s in the front row. But that black car is the actual number 7. That green one's just an imposter. So it's a wannabe. But, it's a pretty cool scheme, that old throwback Mountain Dew. Looking pretty sharp. I'm loving all these cars. That Budweiser, especially that mellow yellow. That's just a true classic to me than the Mark Martin Folgers car. But nonetheless, we're going back to green flag action. Let's see who gets a good restart this time. Looks like Mr. Wayne Grossi there gets a great launch. He's going to bring the 57 of Josh Johnson with him. And there's no tire strategy at this point. You have 11 or 12 laps to get this thing done. So we're going to see a lot more racing action, I think, in this back half of the first stage.
Gil Gawk there, Jeremy, he had a great jump. He's already making moves, passing a couple cars here on the inside. You see him back there. Already passed 3 cars. He's trying to make a 4 here on the first lap. He wants to get back up to the front after leading a lot of these laps. He's going to try to come around this one time being in 5th with 4 of them in front of him. But we see here the 4 car coming up strong. Chad Lang's making a pass on the outside of Wayne Grossi, trying to take that top spot.
He's just making this thing look easy. Just cleared the 57 of Johnson on the inside. First pass from night. And then he shoots it right to the top and just, hey, Wayne, nice spot. I want it. And he took it. So, new leader, 2 spots in 2 corners. Mr. Chad Lang takes over second. It looks like the 57 got a little loose there. And the number 7 and number 3 follow suit along for second and third.
Yeah, that quick repair helped for the 57 there. Got into the wall a little bit. No harm, no foul. But Chad Lang's just been on a tear tonight. He started 6th too, Jeremy, and he moved up quick on the initial start of this race. And then on that restart, he was back in the second row. And just great moves there, as you mentioned, on the inside to the outside. And then now he's pulled half a second. He's still moving. That car is just, he's controlling that car very well tonight. So nice to see Chad Lang with this good run.
Doesn't look like he's conserving those tires either. And during that first half, I was actually kind of thinking about how he passes the 2 guys on the top side. And I was kind of thinking to myself, maybe he had a line on the top. That's why he kept it up there. But then as Brody was talking about the tires being used up, carrying that excess speed on the top. But now he's got the full lead to himself, so he's able to run the bottom if he so chooses to do so. Not this time around. He's on the top side here, unlike everybody else who runs the bottom. But you do carry more speed up there, so you do scrub a little more tire wear on the top. But, with only a handful of laps now at this point, that really doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, and kind of as mentioned before with the 12-lap run the first half, you saw what the cars did in the first 12 laps. You were basically on this run here, if we can keep it green all the way through, it's a 13 lap. So pretty similar, and can definitely tell what strategy you want to play. But we're seeing the 57 here, Josh Johnson. He's starting to creep in on the 3 of Stephen Verman right there, trying to take over that spot. These 3, second, third, and fourth are just feet off of each other here going as they're coming off the 2.
The tire pressure is definitely built up in that 57's tires there in that mellow yellow machine. As he looks to the inside of Stephen Verman, trying to take over 3rd place. Looks to the inside. He has the inside corner panel taken care of. Let's see if he can get some type of launch off the corner. Just that outside seems to be pretty good, as these cars like to push up a little more so on the bottom. So it just kind of restricted that run up to the top. And the number 3 of Stephen Verman was able to secure 3rd place again.
And Wayne Grossi, he's moving up close to Chad Lane here. He's closed the gap. As we see, we're ticking down these laps. There's only a matter of time left, and he's trying to get that first spot clicked off to Monday's race. if you can get out of the way early, then no reason to keep messing around. You got 3 chances to get it, but if you can do it on the first one, go ahead and take your shot, and that's what they're trying to do here. I think Chad, though, he's going to be hard to pass Jeremy. He's already got the high side. He knows how to run it. And with these guys, if they're getting close to him and he's going to get a chance to move into that all-star race, he's going to do everything he can to stay up front.
Yeah, Wayne Grossi here, that you never can count him out. We talked about him as being one of our favorites for tonight's event. He's creeping in. He's within 1 car length, not even 1 car length now, as he shoots to the bottom of turn 3, makes a really good run at it, kind of diamonds off the bottom. You don't see that too often. He's able to carry a decent amount of speed off the corner, but he's going to be about a 1 to 1.5 car length disadvantage with 6 laps to go.
Yeah, lost a little bit of speed down there on the bottom. And you saw Chad Wayne kind of pull back away a little bit, but he's got the great entries. We see Wayne coming in here, entrance of 1 and 3 there. He gains quite a bit on Chad. If he can just pull it off on that run off, he'll close the gap a little bit more. And as we're coming down to, like you mentioned, these last couple of laps, still great battle. We see the 11 car, Jeff Langston. He's starting to creep into this little group here of Germany and see if he can make a move towards the front.
5-car battle, especially the first or the second through 5th. They are nose to tail essentially, and you see on your ticker we're on lap 21 of 60. That's your overall counter. The competition caution will come out when the leader crosses the line to complete lap 25 heading into lap 26. That is for your entry into the main event. So even though we're only a third of the way of the overall complete total laps, if you're the leader on lap 26, you're in. That's qualified. So you're going to see a lot of aggression here in the next couple laps to try to take that spot from the number 4 to get yourself locked into Monday's main event.
Yeah, we see some of these guys falling off a little bit. The 11 and the 57 are going at it right now. That's kind of letting the 7 of Wayne Grossi making a move here on Chad Wayne. I think these two are going to be the ones that's going to be battling out here on these last couple of laps. As you see coming really close here off of 2, going to get a little handful there for the 4, Chad Wayne, but he's going to be able to run it off. Let's see if Steven Verman can make a little pass here on Wayne Grossi on the high side.
Excellent attempt there by Wayne Grossi. Excellent 1 and 2. Just cannot get that thing to stick on corner exit. He makes another shot at it this time. He has a really good run in the center of 3 and 4. It's going to remain side by side with Chad Legg entering lap 20, lap 23. We have 3 laps to go before stage 1 is over.
Jeremy, this thing might end with a little photo finish here, the way this thing's going. We see Chad Wayne. He knows how to run that top side. He's been running it most of the race, if not the whole race, and holding his ground up at the top side. And Wayne's just trying to get that great run. If Chad gives him enough room, he can get a little push off it, but you see Chad just trying to pinch him down just a little bit. You see his car checking up there. Wayne has to get a hold of it. You see, gets into the back of him a little bit. We might have we're going to have a hard hit into the back wall there. Oof. Have a caution with just 2-lap shootout after this, Jeremy.
Man, you hate to see it. It looked like Wayne Grossi was trying to do what he did the last couple corners, which back up that turn 3, diamond off into turn number 4. It looked like he was headed toward the bottom painted line there, that blue and white line, to get a great launch off of 4. And Steven Vrooman did not pick up on that cue, and he just drove to the back bumper of him, which sent him around into the 57, the 11. You're going to see the on action right here with the 57. Josh Johnson, seeing Steven Vrooman and Wayne Grossi get connected, and then nowhere to go for that 57. Just gets shoved in the wall, not once, but twice right here as he knows it. But as you see, the damage is still clear on his nose. It's self-repaired, so he is good to go. But it looks like it's going to take him out of being any contention of being locked in for the stage 1.
So let's see who comes down pit road. I think we're going to have, it looks like we're going to have everyone coming down pit road for pissed off for this 2-lap shootout. And what's going to, it's good that everyone came down too, because I was thinking if we have anyone that tries to stay out, they're going to be hurting themselves if they don't make it through for that next segment. So we'll see fresh tires here for all these drivers and have a good shootout. We're going to see Chad Wayne, who's been dominating this whole race. We'll see if he starts on the high side or if he's going to keep it on the low side, because we know he's been up top the whole race.
Quick shout out to MB Racing Family, number 11, for saying hi in the chat. Hello. I replied to you as well in the text. Hopefully you're enjoying the event so far, as we're nearing the completion of stage 1 of 3. We're almost to that point. We got a couple laps to decide out before this thing's over, and it looks like a couple takers are gonna stay out of this thing. It looks like. Who's that up there in the front right now? Is that the 57?
Yeah, 57. Yeah. Josh Johnson, and then I think Steven. Yeah, and no, that's not Steven. That's Wayne Grossi right there. Is that? Yeah,
that's interesting. He's the one who got turned there in turn 4. So how well are those tires are going to hold up? They have 10 racing laps on them plus a spin. So really curious. I know this is his only shot, or not only shot, but this is one of his good shots here to try to make something happen. But I don't know. Those tires might be in a pretty bad situation to contend. But you never know. We've seen some weirder things. Maybe the 57 has a slow start, and Wayne can hold them off. But in the meantime, while we're under caution, we'd love to give our shout outs to our partners. This time, Martin Sports. What's up, man? Home of these sim gloves of sim racing. Head over to martinsports906.com, and you're going to hashtag get a grip with these sim racing gloves. The best that you will ever put on your hands to drive a sim racing car. Hands down, 100%. I have a pair. I know our producer Dustin has a pair, and our co-broadcaster here, Kenny, also has a pair. So, and we all swear by them. So, once again, that's martinsports906.com. And, of course, as always, use that code there on the bottom left-hand corner in the green text. It says Super Nerd. That's 25% off your purchase. So, if you're a little leery on maybe trying it, that's a good discount. It's a good entry point to get you started in a really good product. It looks like...
Huge discount.
Yeah. Yeah, huge discount. 25. Like, who offers that, right? 25%. That's crazy.
Jeremy, I'm I kind of mentioned I'm surprised that's if someone stayed out. The 57 and the 7 there, those two, a couple of others too as well, right behind them, Steven and let's see, the 3 keeps the 7 keeps throwing me off. I think the 85 of Gil Gawk. I don't believe they pit. They could have. I'm not sure because I know Chad Wayne came down first. Gil Gawk, I think, was first off. So we got 3 out there that's going to be running on these old tires, and they're make it or break it, because if not, they're going to have to come down, Jeremy, after the segment ends to get fresh tires, because the guys behind them, they already have it. But, hey, it's worth a shot. You got 3 chances to do it. You're this close. Wayne's been strong. You only have 2-lap shootout, so we'll see what happens. It might be able to pull it off and get through on this first segment.
It's kind of weird, but kind of cool. I know it's a fun race and all. The 3 cars up front were all involved in that wreck that brought out the caution. And of course, you saw the 57 slam the wall twice. We saw the true number 7, that black and gold Chevrolet. We see him get turned by that green number 7. He's really the number 3 in the session. He turned him, and those guys are still 1, 2, and 3. That's because that self-repairing car that iRacing has that's available for any type of hosted session. And it's turned on tonight. So it gives these guys a equal opportunity all the way through the entire race. And you don't see that too often, where the 3 guys who get wrecked start the restart first, second, and third.
No, and it's a cool feature with that fast repair, as you mentioned. So we'll see what these guys can do. 57 looks like he's going to take the inside, so going to put Wayne Grossi up there on the high side. That might be the position he needs. We saw what Chad Lane's been doing up on that high side, so this could be what Wayne needed to get up there and see if he can hold it off. We know we got the fresh tires right behind him with Gil Gawk there, and we know he's fast. He started out this race leading most of that first half.
Yeah, well, kind of curious to see the tire situation with that number 7, Wayne Grossi. We'll see if he's going to be able to prevail. Let's see if Josh Johnson can hold off these guys and behind him. Like Gil Gawk, the first guy on the fresh set of Goodyear tires. We're about to find out as we have 2 more laps in this thing before stage 1 is over. Green flag is out. Really good start here by the number 7 of Wayne Grossi. He's going to almost try to clear Josh Johnson, but no. But Chad Lang and the number 4 out of nowhere with the fresh set of tires. Already up to second. Gets loose, able to save it. Still clears Wayne for second place. And he's got a lap and a half to track down that race leader, Josh Johnson.
Chad Wayne is that car is on a tear tonight. He's just making moves, whether he wants to go high or low. He's got it. But Jeremy, let's see. We got 1 lap here coming to the last lap of this first segment. We're going to see if we can hold on to the 57 of Josh Johnson. He's got a charging Chad Wayne coming in right behind him as they're heading down the 1 and 2.
He's got to put a massive block. He's got way fresher tires, and it looks like he just cannot do it. Number 4 clears day with that speed with the 4 fresh Goodyears. Just taking him on the outside. No problem, as he's been doing all stage long. Clears him entering turn number 3, and as long as he hits these corners good for the final time, it looks like that number 4 of Chad Lang's going to qualify himself into the All-Star event on Monday. Congratulations to Chad for winning stage number 1.
Yeah, it was a good win for Chad there, winning that first segment. That's going to push him on the Monday in the All-Star race. And you saw the 57 of Joshua Johnson try to throw it in there in turn 3 and 4, and you saw him push up because he was just pushing a little extra. But Chad Wayne had the grip with those new tires and was able to just clear him and take off there for that win. So great run there by Chad Wayne. I'm excited to watch him in the All-Star race, Jeremy.
Yeah, he didn't post the fastest practice time, but man, oh man, when the thing came to the green flag racing, he was on a tear. As you said it earlier, he started 6th, right? And then within like 2 laps, he was in 2nd place, passing for the race lead. Crazy stuff. But you see him coming down pit road. That means he's going to be done for the night because he has qualified in. So 2nd place is going to move to 1st. 3rd place is going to move to 2nd. And then continuation all the way through the field, as Chad Lang will be done and qualified for Monday night's event. And since there's a competition yellow, we're going to try to interview the stage winners. We're going to see if we can kind of grab Chad here while these guys are cycling through and taking pit stops, do what they got to do. Let's see if he might be available. I'm going to go through a chat system. Not too sure. I don't actually see him. So if he does pop in, we're definitely going to grab him and have a chance to talk to him. And actually, he just did. So we're going to try to drag him in here. Mr. Chad, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, congratulations on that Stage 1 win. You're locked into the Monday night main All-Star race. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels fantastic. It was a lot of fun, those cars.
You were handling that car no matter where you went. If you wanted to go high, low, we saw you were dominating it on the outside there. Took the lead passing 2 there, like it was no problem. Do you love these cars, or do you tend to drive these cars a little bit more? Because you look like you just had no problem with the handling on these cars.
Yeah, we used to run these cars a lot, and you can really wheel them if you have to, but you also got to save the tires at some point. But it would just happen that the short enough runs, I could just go for it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had an opportunity to talk to you in the booth. So, I mean, it's kind of cool to bring in here. New perspective here for us anyways. It's the first time we've seen you guys at Full Throttle Sim Racing drive something other than the Cup and Truck series. So it looks like you're definitely well fitted for these cars. It's definitely showing. And you put on a hell of a run. You passed high, you passed low. You chose your lane and went for it. Especially that last restart too with this 4 set of fresh tires. You just kind of made your own lane. So impressive run, man. I just want to say congratulations once again. And it's the first time we've had you, like I said. So before these guys got the green flag, do you have any people watching potentially on Nerd TV that you'd love to give a shout out to?
Yeah, my teammate Chris Beck, he couldn't make it tonight, but him and whoever else is watching, thanks for watching, and thanks to Brody for putting this on, because this is one of the most fun I've had in a long time.
Yeah, this is a pretty awesome event, I would say myself. But yeah, congratulations once again, man. We'll let you go and celebrate tonight. You are locked in to the Monday night main All-Star event.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was Mr. Chad Lang. The first time we've talked to him. He shows up in a new car and, gets the thing done with ease. So, like you said, Kenny, I'm really looking forward to Monday night and seeing how he performs because he just put on a clinic with these guys.
Yeah, he made it look easy. I mean, you could definitely tell that like he mentioned, he used to drive these cars a lot. You could tell from the way that that car was just handling. I mean, some of these guys you can see get a little sideways coming in, mishandle there. His car didn't do that. It stuck. He stuck it on the outside, had no problems with it, saved his tires. And like he said, it paid off having that caution with 2 to go and was able to just throttle it down and just give all it got. And I mean, it showed. He was able to pull off almost half a second lead there just off the first 2 laps.
Now, we have a lap and a half before we kick this thing back to green flag. So, sponsor time's at a premium here with these cautions. So I'd love to give another quick shout out. This time, we're going to go to the Butt Kicker, official audio enhancement provider for the Nerditudes. You're going to head over to thebuttkicker.com. They got a nice little lineup of products that makes your sim rig 100% complete. And when you do that, we have a Nerd TV promo code for you. Doesn't have to be capital, I don't think. Just Nerd TV. They get you 20% off anything that you purchase from there. And trust me, you won't regret that purchase, no matter what you choose, because it's going to complete your sim rig. And it's a pretty awesome, one-of-a-kind product. I don't think there's anything else on the market like it. Yeah, go pick yours up, especially that Gamer 2 unit. As always, that's the standard in all sim racing. A lot of people swear by it. Once again, that's at thebuttkicker.com. And Kenny, my question to you is, who's the next Chad Lang? Who's going to be the next guy to show up and kind of take over for stage 2?
I'm still kind of looking at, right now the two that I feel like dominated pretty well most of that race was the 7 of Wayne Grossi and the 85 of Gil Gawk. Had a little mishap there with those two throughout that race, but I think those two are going to be the strong ones. We mentioned Wayne, up at the beginning of this race or broadcast, so those are the two I'm keeping my eye on.
Yeah, Gilgog's pretty. He impressed me pretty well. I know when he got shuffled to the mid-pack range, yeah, he looks like he had struggles trying to get around some of these drivers to head back up to the front. But I think with Wayne Grossi, that's going to be my pick. I know he's starting in 6th place here on this restart, but we have a fresh set of 25 laps to complete before exiting stage number 2. And I think that number 7, the black and gold Copenhagen Chevrolet Monte Carlo is going to. I think he's going to get the job done.
Yeah, that's going to be my pick for tonight. So I know if it's not this segment, it might be the next segment, but those are the two that I got my eye on, and I think we're getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, Jeremy, for the second segment.
We absolutely are. Let's see who's going to be the next one to tear out and get to lead. Number 11, Jeff Langston. And we have a cheerleader in the chat. Remember, Kate? Nicholas Casey's cheering him on. Let's see if he can showcase what he's got as your race leader. But green flag is out. The number 3 of Steven Vrooman in that Mountain Dew Monte Carlo matches his performance there on the start, side by side. Entering turn number 1, it looks like Vrooman might have a good launch off the top, but the number 11 is going to be able to clear him no problem as a single file down the backstretch.
Yeah, you see Gil Gawk there, though, on the inside. Right behind him is Wayne. They fall in line. Those are the two that I think that's going to be pushing their way through the field, and they're already trying to make moves. They're going by the number 6 here of James Torrey. The 85 is Gil Gawk, that is. Going to move his way a little bit closer. As you see the 11, though, Jeff Langston still leading that first lap as we head back around here.
These guys are looking pretty racy. It looks like Vrooman's ready to go. He wants to get around that number 11, but the 11 just had a really good launch off of turn number 4. And it looks like that 11 doesn't have the fastest entry, but he's backing up these corners and getting a great run off the exit, allowing him to kind of space himself out between him and Vrooman. And it's keeping it single file. It's not letting him get to his door, which is, going to be a great situation and a great strategy for him to keep out front. With that 57, Josh Johnson, excellent run down the turn number 4 exit, looking to go side by side with Vrooman.
Yeah, great battle here with these two, trying to get that second spot and then see if they can make their way, as these guys are inches off of each other. A little bit of lifting there from Josh Johnson, trying not to get into the back of Steven Vrooman there as they're in 1 and 2. Great battle. You see the guys a little further back. They're trying to make their way up through the field as well. Looks like the 17 of Steve Loomis back there battling it out with the 55 of Jeff Bratton. Those two are trying to make their way through. And is that the I'm trying to see, is that the 6 car, I believe, of James Torrey that fell back a little bit? Yeah, he fell all the way back on that one lap, Jeremy. So maybe he's just trying to get out of it or save those tires, but he lost a few spots there on that lap.
Yeah, if there's no caution in this segment, it's 25 laps to see what that strategy is going to look like. I personally have not seen it. He got an excellent run that time on that 55 as you were talking about him. And one person I'm can't keep my eye on too is that number 7, the true one, Mr. Wayne Grossi. He hasn't really. I thought he was going to do a little bit better on that start, but he's still hanging tight there in 5th. If there's any incidents, he's going to be there to pounce on him. But right now, that car is not looking as sporty as it was in the first half of this race. But I still wouldn't count him out because we still got 20 laps before this thing's over.
Yeah. Now, I don't believe he came down, Jeremy, to make a pit stop. So these guys will have fresher tires, and he will. If I recall, I believe him and the 3 here of Steven, I believe both those stayed out on that last pit stop. So their tires are going to be a little bit older than everyone else's.
Yeah, I didn't catch that for sure. I was kind of going through some things, and I didn't see if he actually made that pit stop. But he did start in 6th, and I think he finished a little ahead of that. I thought he pitted, but I could be wrong. But that would explain why his car's kind of stalled out there with that 85 of Gil Gawk, who also was putting on a great run. He's still 4th place, so still doing a pretty decent job out there. Just 0.7 seconds, and not even a full second behind your race leader of Jeff Langston, who's actually spread his gap a little bit over that 3 of Steven Vrooman in that Mountain Dew Monte Carlo. about 4 car lengths ahead, entering turn number 1 here on lap 33.
Yeah, maybe we'll see Jeff Langston do the pass in the grass. He's got the car, we got the place, so maybe we'll see it happen tonight. Still leading the way. Great run so far. You're seeing the 3 there, Steven, making a look on the inside, not making any passes. But we saw Joshua Johnson in that first segment, Jeremy. His car started to come on a little bit further in the run as he was saving those tires. So I expect to see him up here late as well. And then followed by Wayne and Gil sitting back in 4th and 5th right now.
Yeah, I mean, I love how they call it the pass in the grass. I know that's how it's been stapled and everyone knows by it, but he didn't actually pass anybody in the grass, but we'll give it to him. It is Earnhardt, so he can get away with whatever he wants. But yeah, he doesn't have Bill Elliott to pass per se, but he's got that Mountain Dew behind him. So, I mean, that car's looking pretty sporty. And, with coming down with like 16 or 17 laps to go in this stage number 2, actually Vrooman made a great run in 3 and 4 that time. Maybe we're starting to see that shift in tire wear, but as you see on the back camera of Langston, that number 7 is putting his nose there once again.
Yeah, we'll have to change it to the pass, drive through grass there, because that was more like what it was. But like I said, it was either way pretty cool, but we don't have, like I said, Bill Elliott out here and no retaliation after it's all said and done. They're kind of spread out here, Jeremy. Single filed out racing right now, a little bit different than what we saw in that first segment. We see Stephen Loomis got past the 85 there. Gil Gog a little bit. Wayne got into the wall there coming off of 4, but as we see so far with that quick repair, that'll bounce back out in about 3 seconds. So no harm, no foul there. Wayne puts it in there and slight nice push into the corner there. Gets great grip on the bottom as he's trying to run down the 57 of Joshua Johnson.
What camera work here by Mr. Logston in the booth, or the production booth area. Keeping this eye basically locked onto this number 3 of Vrooman. You see number 7, but he's really the number 3. And he gets such a great run in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, he kind of sets him up, but 3 and 4 is where he gets the job done. And this time he's made it to his door panel. They're going to enter 1 and 2 side by side on lap number 37. Let's see if Langston has anything on the top side of the track. It looks like he's going to back up that 1 and 2 and get a pretty decent run on 3, or exit turn number 2 rather. And they're going to keep side by side entering turn number 3. Let's see if Vrooman has anything for him as they're side by side.
And you know who's loving this the whole way is Wayne Grossi. He's sitting there closing the gap on these 3 drivers. Even Joshua Johnson closed the gap on these 2 as they're battling side by side. We're about to have a 4-car pack, and it's even bringing up the ones behind him as well. So these 2 battling it out is going to bring some people in. And Joshua Johnson might be sitting in a good spot. He can get a pass, whether he's going to go up on the high side or the low side. As we see 3 of them on the bottom and still leading the top side, Jeff Langston.
That 57's the first car not using his full tire wear. The 7's eating those tires alive, hugging the bottom in that number 11 of Langston, using those tires up to maintain that position on the top. So the more they do this, the more the 57 is loving it. But they're on lap 39. So they got 12 laps to go. We're officially halfway done with this stage number 2. And it looks like the 57's maybe going to shift to the top side. I think he sees that overall speed there. He's looking about mid-lane. As you see him on board here on that mellow yellow Monte Carlo. Going to keep the draft behind the number 11. It looks like he's going to try to get to the top, but looks like Vrooman almost wanted to close the door. Could not do it. 11 clears Vrooman, and then there he goes. Josh Johnson with a great run into turn number 3, but had to check up. He carried so much speed and allowed that number 3 to carry your speed all the way back to being side by side with Langston on lap number 40.
Great battle here as these 3 cars, and now we're going to have the 4th one. Wayne Grossi's coming into this picture. The 57, Josh Johnson, we might be having a little 3-wide battle. We're going to have a little checkup here, so we can avoid that. But yeah, those 2 side by side. We got 2 rows of side by side racing as we see Wayne Grossi moving up in here. He's trying to take the inside of Joshua Johnson.
Yeah, just an insane 4-car pack right now. It was 3, and then Wayne Grossi said, "Hello, guys," and we are side by side for the race lead. Excellent action here from these 1987 Cup cars. Just putting on a hell of a race for us in the broadcast booth and everyone watching our TV right now.
Yeah, 10 laps to go. Great battle overall. Like I said, they kind of stalled out there a little bit. We'll single file racing, and then now here we are, 4-car pack. And mentioned earlier, those 3 back there, Stephen Loomis, Gil Gok, and Jeff Bratton, they're kind of closing up on these group as well. So before this thing's all said and done, we might have everyone battling out under one blanket.
They are basically underneath one blanket. The 11 hits the wall hard there on exit. He was starting to pull away a little bit, but not anymore. That's going to bring him right back into the clutches on number 3 of Vrooman. 57 of Josh Johnson and the number 7 of Wayne Grossi. 11 backs up that corner a little bit more, and it looks like Vrooman might have an opportunity to clear the 11 off of 2.
Yeah, that we see multiple times both segments here kind of backing up in that corner. They get a great run off. Caused a couple cautions or spins in that first segment, and the 57 got right on the back bumper on the 11. I thought we were going to have it here, but as we see Josh Johnson, the 57 going the high side, he's going to see if he can hold it off the wall. Has to lift a little bit, so he's going to lose a little ground. See Wayne Grossi's coming on the inside, Jeremy. He's going to try to take that 3rd spot.
Looks like he is on the mission, and he's finally getting that job done there. He took him a little bit half the race, but I think he saved those tires, playing a little bit of chicken. He started making a battle it looks like he's going to clear the 57 this time on the exit turn number 2. But he already has his eye sets on that number 11, who's just starting to fall off a little bit as Vrooman's starting to pull out to a 3-car length race lead on lap 43.
You see the 7 of Wayne Grossi driving in there hard, trying to hold it down on the inside. As you mentioned, those tires are just wearing on the inside, and that's definitely not going to help, because the 11's going to keep that position on the outside of Jeff Langston. But the 7's fighting back strong on the inside. You know who's 11 seeing this, Jeremy, is the 3-car, Stephen Vrooman. If those two keep battling out, he might be able to pull away just enough. But looks like Wayne's going to clear him for 2nd place, so he's got his eyes set there on Stephen for 1st.
Grossi's got his eye set for sure, and I think he might have one of the fastest cars here, as he was saving it up for this part of the run here. As we're coming up to 6 laps to go before stage 2 is over. Looks like Langston's still running a little tight. They're having to run the top side as he hits the wall one more time right in front of Josh Johnson. Almost spun him there on the front stretch. Able to keep it going straight though, but yeah, the 11's falling back a little bit, and you see right now that black number 7 all over the rear bumper of Vrooman in turn number 2.
And you see Stephen Vrooman, he put it down the inside because he knows that's where Wayne's been driving his line this whole race, at least this whole segment, at least on the bottom side. So he blocked that entrance. As you see Wayne going down, and you see the 3-car there, Stephen's going to go right down to the bottom. He's saying if you want to pass me, you're going to have to do it on the outside. A little bit of Days of Thunder. He's going to point him to the outside. He says if you want to take it, that's where you're going to have to show it. So coming here, Jeremy, we've got coming to 5 laps to go in the 2nd segment.
We got battles all over the place. We got 1st and 2nd, obviously, on your screen. 3rd through 6th has really closed in. We got Gil Gawk and Steve Loomis also in the mix here, as they're all bundled in together underneath one blanket as well. Just great racing all around the track here. You see the number 7 making that dip to the bottom. Maybe he's going to throw it in to the corner, which he does. Let's see if he can make this stick to get the race lead from Steve Vrooman. Gets really close, has to check up, but it also checks up to number 3 as well, as they're dead heat exiting turn number 4.
Great move by Wayne Grossi. Just basically forced his way down there on the inside. Held on his line. You know, you had a little check up there by Steven. That helped him on the inside, and that's what he needed to go ahead and pass him here. As we see, he's going to clear him off in 1 and 2. I expect him to move up to the high side, and we're going to have a new leader, Jeremy. We're going to come to 3 laps to go. See Wayne Grossi taking the lead.
Yes, sir. Looks like he saved those tires up just enough and was able to pass him around. Coming up to lap number 48, let's see if Vrooman can regather and maybe cool off those tires enough for another lap or 2 and make one more chance at getting himself qualified into the Monday night main event here at Charlotte in these 1987 NASCAR Cup cars. These guys are all bundled in now after that lead change was settled. Looks like the 57, Josh Johnson's almost to the back bumper at this point of that number 3 of Stephen Vrooman, as he wants something, maybe take the green flag for the last 10 laps and P number 1.
Yeah, it's there's still 3 laps to go, coming up to 2 laps to go here, and anything could happen. We've seen these cars can be a handful, so all it takes is one slip up for Wayne, and they're going to be right back into a battle. As we see here, Josh Johnson, he's going on the inside there of the 3-car Stephen Vrooman, trying to get into that 2nd place position, show that he's got a strong car and have a good start here for this last 10 lap segment.
Yep, 2 laps to go, and Josh Johnson does want to start P1 here. Maybe he has enough to maybe run down Wayne Grossi, probably not being 6/10 out with a lap and a half left. But we've seen some more crazier things than that. Looks like Langston's found a little bit extra speed here, as he is now on the back bumper of the number 85 of Gil Gawk. But turn your attention to your race leader. We got to the white flag here for the end of stage number 2. He's got himself right now a 0.7 second lead over 2nd place Josh Johnson. Looks like he's got this thing all but wrapped up for himself in that black Copenhagen Monte Carlo. Coming down the backstretch here, just clean. The guys are running 2, almost 3 wide down the backstretch, really trying to shuffle it up one last time. But it's no pressure for Wayne Grossi, as he's been on the tear. He's had 3 straight podiums with us, and this time he's going to talk to us for the 4th straight week. Wayne Grossi, your winner of stage number 2.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Great,
Caution is
great
out.
segment win there by Wayne, and no surprises to us. We were thinking that at the start of the race. We knew he had 3 opportunities. He was going to pick up one of them. He's been, like you mentioned, fourth week in a row that we're going to be talking to him. So he's just been on tear as of late, and just like on the front of that hood, it satisfies.
You're definitely not wrong there. I'm sure he's satisfied being locked into Monday night's All-Star main event. I'm sure he's super happy. We're about to drag him in here in just a minute to talk to him about it, get his thoughts on that stage number 2. But what a race. 4 cars, 2 side by side for multiple laps trying to duke it out for the race lead. That was some of the best racing I have seen all of 2022.
Yeah, that was good racing. I mean, it was kind of just a little stale moment there for maybe 2 laps after we mentioned it, and then boom. I mean, we had 3-car, 4-car battle, 5-car. I mean, everyone just kind of joined in. So great racing, and these cars put off a great show. But I think let's see if we can chase down Wayne and see if we can get him in the booth here.
Yeah, I think we have a copy for him. Let's bring him in here and try to talk to him. Mr. Grossi, do you got a copy?
Don't think he's here.
Yes, sir. Just getting a drink of water. Sorry about that.
Caught you at the absolute worst moment, man. But I wanted to pull you and get your instant reaction. What a race. That was some of the best racing I have seen all of 2022 at this point in any sim race period. And it looked like maybe you were kind of stalemating, but it looked like after the fact that you were just kind of saving your tires. What an impressive run. You guys were side by side for multiple laps, 4 or 5 cars within probably 2/10 of each other. How were you able to get that thing locked into the All-Star race on Monday?
I was really surprised at how much. I really didn't speed up. It's like everybody else just slowed down. So I was lucky there that I saved a little bit and had it for the end.
Oh, you must have had the special tires on there, because that's what that little Days of Thunder sounds like. Great run. Congratulations on getting in on Monday. And you were one of the favorites up here in the booth and even on the chat. So, it's nice to see you get in there, as I think this is the 4th week in a row that we're talking to you. So, just been on a tear as of late. But again, just congratulations and great overall run.
Well, thanks a lot. Good to get a win.
Yeah, you're actually my pick, too, before this thing even took place. So I'm glad you're able to complete my pick there. My notebook's usually pretty bad, but thank you for solidifying at least one of my options for this entire year. But excellent job once again. Since we got you in here and still under caution, getting things sorted out for the final 10 laps, anybody you would love to give a shout out to?
Just you guys in the league, Brody and Full Throttle. This is so much fun. Really had a blast tonight.
Couldn't agree anymore with you, man. Yeah, congratulations once again, and we will see you Monday night for the All-Star race.
All right, thank you. See ya.
And that was your Stage 2 winner, Wayne Grossi. Kenny, we have 10 more laps to go before this thing is done, and we have 2 laps left under pacing, it looks like, before we go back to green flag action. So let's give us another quick time to shout out another one of our partners. This time, Moonlight Speed Concepts. That is a setup group that builds professional setups for all oval asphalt racing, down to the D-Class style late models, all the way up to your A-Class style cup cars. They work on road to pro setups. Anything that you're going to need on the oval asphalt side to get wins. No better place to go than to moonlightspeed.com. And they also have a painting section. So if you need to have your car looking sharp as well, make sure to get your car painted by moonlightspeed.com as well. So kind of get you winning W's and a really good looking car. So it's a great one-stop shop for everything. Once again, moonlightspeed.com. All right, Kenny, 10 laps, like I said, left. My pick has done the job. Who do you got here for this final 10 laps?
No, that last one I had Wayne and Gil kind of making it through these last 2 segments, and Wayne checked off that one. So I think Gil's going to come home in these last 10 laps. His car was coming on strong. But another one to watch, Jeremy, Joshua Johnson. He's been strong both segments, towards the end of it, and he's going to be starting up on the outside. that's where kind of the strong point's been. So if he can get around this 11 and with the quickness, he might have a chance to hold off for these last 10 laps.
Quick shout out in the chat just came through. Josh Mayu saying replace these cars with the next gens and I'll be back. So we're already seeing some fans out there that are really digging these cars, and the action is speaking for itself. What excellent racing across the board so far. It's only done 50 laps. These 50 laps have been some of the most exciting ones I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it's putting on a great show, and we're seeing here what's having some little radio chatter and seeing what's going on. I think they're having a single file restart here is what it sounds like it's going on, and that's not what they want to have. So
All right, man.
they're going to extend this one for another lap or so, Jeremy, while they get this thing situated. But they're going to try to have this thing started under side by side.
Yeah, so Mr. Dustin Loxton there producing this event for you guys with the awesome camera angles. His pick is in 57, Joshua Johnson. You have a vote out there, so don't let him down. You got a really fast car, and you only got one guy ahead of you. So don't let Mr. Dustin down. He's usually pretty good at making his picks too. So we'll see. He's got a bad fast car. It's really not a bad pick overall. But yeah, they're trying to figure out the restart situation. The only negative side to not counting caution laps is when you look at the tower in iRacing to try to figure out who starts where, it doesn't update because your laps are not updating. That means your positions aren't really updated. So it's kind of a mix-up. So trying to figure out exactly who starts where before they go back to green flag. Looks like the admin Brody Anna was actually able to restart the field double file through the iRacing commands. So it looks like we're going to have a double file restart this time as we see them start to line up accordingly. So looks like we should be going back to green flag this time, kid.
Yeah, looks like they just went ahead and said the heck with it, double them up, and then he'll just clear any blocks that we have because it's just not kicking over. So either way, we'll have a double file restart. So should be exciting. Gonna see what this 57 can do here on the outside. And what we have here looks like eight car shootout, seven cars. Yeah, 7 cars left. So only one can go on.
Yeah, so we got Skidmark in the chat here calling these next-gen cars the big stinky poo-poo, for the lack of better terms, but kind of shows what his thoughts are on the next-gen as well. But, we're just here for fun, so you might see these cars in the future. You never know. When you put on such a great show, it kind of raises people's eyebrows. It makes you go, maybe we should. You never know. So you got to stay tuned and figure that out. But we have 10 more green flag laps to bring to you. As Jeff Langston, you got Nicholas Casey still pulling for you, man. You're going to take this restart in first place with the 57 of Josh Johnson, actually with a pretty decent restart. Looks like for the All-Star race, the black flag is cleared as long as he gives that spot back, which he has done. So the 11 takes that back from them temporarily. It looks like he's barely able to clear him off of turn number 2 as they single file it down the backstretch.
Yeah, he's looking to the inside, looking to the outside. Josh Johnson's trying to get back to the front spot. He's going to hold on to the outside. We saw what it's been doing so far. It's funny, you had Chad Lang that won the first segment on the outside mainly, and then you had Wayne Grassi on the inside of that second segment. Hardens, it looks like made it on pit road there. I think that was the 17 of Steven Loomis. That is unfortunate because that is going to put him out of this All-Star race open unless we have a caution here with the last 8 laps to go.
Yeah, he spun right down pit road, so his night's basically done. The car is repaired virtue that the shielding system that's in place for tonight's race, but it looks like he's come down pit road to change some tires, maybe park the thing. So he will not make the main event on Monday, but we still have a battle here with just over 6 laps to go. Jeff Langston leading the 57 of Joshua Johnson by 2 car lengths, and then a car length behind him is that number 3 of Steven Vrooman.
Yeah, I think we're going to start seeing them move in once these tires get warmed up again, and we've already got 3 laps down since this last segment's been started. So these guys are going to start bunching up as we see the 3 here trying to make a move on the inside, 57, Joshua Johnson. See if, the one that's looking on this one too as well as the 85 of Gil Cox, seeing if he can make a move and move his way back up to the front. We kind of haven't seen him make his way up there ever since that first caution in the first segment. So if not, then it might just be a 3-car battle with the 6 laps to go.
Yeah, if Gil Gawk's going to do anything, he's got to do it right now. But yeah, after that first stage, you're right. He just kind of hasn't been there. Kind of hanging out right now, just underneath 1 second from your race leader. But he likes to see these guys run side by side in front of him. Kind of brings him in a little closer. But Langston's out there about a 5-6 car length advantage right now over second place with just 5 laps to go. So he's sitting in a really good position right now.
And Langston will have seen them side by side as well, because that was able to help him get that gap to just over half a second lead there on Joshua Johnson and Steven Verman there. So if I was those two, I think I would just fall in line, try to chase down the 11 here, because you don't have much time, and if you're going to be battling each other, that's all Jeff's going to need to pull away. But so far, Jeremy, 5 laps in, Jeff's just putting down a pace, and he knows it's a 10-lap sprint, so they're giving it all they can.
Absolutely, for sure. 4 laps to go now. Jeff Langston still at that big controlling lead. Looks like Vrooman is on the tail of Mr. Josh Johnson, entering turn number 1 this time. We're going to keep this action on them, because I think this is a pretty decent battle, I would say. Gil Gawk is kind of closed in a little bit, just underneath 6 car lengths or so. You'll see the number 3 or number 7, however you want to look at it, making his run down to the bottom here, side by side, entering turn number 3.
Yeah, I see him side by side. He's all the way up to the top side, the 57 of Joshua Johnson. As you see, 3 Steven Verman is going to go ahead and try and clear, make that pass there as they're on the front stretch. He's going to just squeeze right in front of the 57 there, Joshua Johnson. We got 3 laps to go, and he's about a second back of Jeff Langston. So Steven Verman needs to put down. Oh, we got a wreck here. We got a caution, Jeremy. This is going to bunch them up with 3 to go. It's about to get real exciting.
Huge. Mr. Langston did not want to see that. I know Nicholas Casey, who's rooting him on, did not want to see that. This caution is brought out by, it looks like, the number 55 and the number 6, that being of Jeff Brayton, and the number 6 of James Torrey, entering turn number 1. You're about to see that action on Nerd TV, but it looks like the 6 drove it in a little heavy, or the 55 checked up. Could not tell exactly. Either way, their bumpers locked together. You're going to see it right here entering turn number 1. Just squares him in the bumper here, picks up that rear end slightly, and overcorrection, and nailed the wall. Little helicopter action there. Huge damage, but of course that gets repaired, as you saw it, just before the screen kicked over. So no harm there other than lost some spots, but this is huge, Kenny. Jeff Langston has to get a good restart. The 57 was able to actually beat him on the restart last time, so he's got to find a little bit of different setup to kind of secure his victory that he did have right before that caution came out.
Yeah, it's gonna change things up a little bit. We'll see. You're gonna have Steven. Oh nope, they're coming down pit. Oh no, got a little fake out there. We're gonna have 2 of them come down. Looks like the 6 and the 55 came down. I'm surprised Gil Gawk didn't move down as well there. But we're gonna have 4 that stay out, 2 come in. So no one wants to give up, and they all faked for a second. I thought we were gonna see him come down pit road, but faked him out there for a second.
This is the exact storyline we saw Chad Lang fall under in stage 1. He pitted, I think he started 5th or 6th, and he won the event in the same exact amount of laps that they're going to have on this restart, which is going to be a 2-lap shootout. So is that the call to make? You know, they have so much fresher tires, 23 laps fresher. So we know these tires are crucial with these cars. We might see this strategy pay off. We'll find out here shortly, but this is definitely shaking some things up.
Yeah, it's. I'm ready for this restart. I'm ready to see what happens. This is the last opportunity to fill that last spot, and all 6 of these drivers that's left really want a chance. We saw Steven Loomis come down pit road. I think he had a speeding penalty, and that put him a couple laps down, so he went ahead and backed out. So that's just going to have 6 of them left here with 3 laps to go to get into the show. 2 of them with fresh tires. That's James Torrey and Jeff Bratton. They kind of been sitting in the back majority of the race, but with fresh tires, anything could happen. So you can see him kind of possibly make a move towards the front here and have a battle for this spot as well.
Yeah, we're going to find this out in probably a next lap. I think they're going to be on the 1 lap to go. Once again, we love to shout out our sponsors during these cautions. This time, I'd love to thank the dirt setup provider for the Nerditudes, houseofspeed.us. Wouldn't want to take you anywhere else but there if you're wanting to pick up some wins on the dirt side, on any oval action anyways, whether it be late models, big blocks, sprint cars, whatever you're racing really. They got your back. Good price points for a professional setup that is guaranteed to at least get you 1 or 2 wins, if not more. It doesn't come with driving talent, so you got to have the driving talent. But if you got it, this setup's going to complement you perfectly, and it will get you those wins. And you're going to find those wins at houseofspeed.us. Next, you're going to do an extra caution lap here. So 1.5 laps left before this thing gets settled out. And I think my pick right now, Jeff Langston's still looking really strong, but I'm really curious to see how those fresh tires are going to work out for that 55. Maybe the number 6 picks up something. We'll see here.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what they do with those fresh tires. I'm excited to see it. And Jeff Langston, I think he had about a second lead there before that yellow came out. So we'll see if he can capitalize where that is. We're going to go with 3 laps to go. We're going to have just 1 lap longer shootout than we did on that first segment. So these guys will have one extra lap there to kind of get everything going and see if they can get 1 more lap out of it.
Yeah, it's coming down to it. This is it. Like, this is the final transfer spot. So these guys are going to be running super aggressive, and it's all or nothing at this point. So this is going to be the restart that Vrooman needs to match Jeff Langston. Will Langston get his much needed launch that he did not have on that last restart? We know he's got the speed in that car. He just has to match with that restart to kind of lock him in, because if you're side by side, we know that high side is the preferred lane. And if Vrooman controls that entering 1 and 2 and can stick it, he might be in the control spot on the white flag.
Yeah, we got the lights out on this pace car here. We're still going. It looks like we're still on. Got a long pace laps here, Jeremy. I think we've had about 5 laps so far. So.
Well, actually, the pace lights are out, so this time by will be your green flag. I know these guys are anxious. The tires are cooled off. They've already pitted. They're already figured out their strategies. This is it. This is go time. They want to get this thing done, and the pace lights are out. Potentially for the final time this evening. Right now, they're crawling through turn 3. We'll see who's going to be able to do it. We know Nicholas Casey is cheering you on, Jeff. And we know 57's got a cheerleader and Mr. Dustin Locke sitting there and producing this thing. So let's see who can get this job done in 2 laps. Late Larry's going to be throwing the flag one more time. Who's got it? Waiting for the green flag here. Just crawling. Waiting for the green flag patiently. They hit the restart line. Green flag is out. Jeff Langston with actually a pretty decent start this time around. Gets to the gearbox much better than Steve Vrooman. 57 of Josh Johnson's going to come right behind, just on the inside here of Vrooman, trying to clear him, but it looks like that outside's going to hold up pretty well as he gets a great launch off of turn number 2.
Yeah, great launch there. Also for the 3 there, Steven Vrooman. We're going to see on the inside, those 2 cars with fresher tires. The 6 going to hit the inside wall. He's going to be out of it. We're going to have 5 cars battling for this inside spot. As you see, the 3 of Steven Vrooman still going to the outside. He's up into the outside wall. These guys are all over pressure trying to get that last spot. He's going to hold on to it. Oh, he's in the outside wall, but he's still going. We're down to 4 cars. Jeremy here battling out for these last final lap.
Excellent save by Vrooman, but we'll take him out of Monday night's main event. We're on the white flag. Looks like Langston with a 3-car length advantage over Joshua Johnson. Exiting turn number 2, and the 57 actually clipped the apron as well, and he's going to spin in front of the field. Looks like he was able to avoid everyone. To my knowledge, he did, so only took him out. And that's going to leave Langston here with a huge lead entering the turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Nicholas Casey, start cheering your driver on. Jeff Langston is your final transfer into Monday night's main event.
Yep, you see Jeff Broughton, he had a great run there, come back in the 2nd place with those fresh tires after all this was said and done, but not going to be enough. Going to get into the last spot there was Jeff Langston. Great run in that Wrangler Jeans Chevy there. So finished that last spot. So great overall run, and we'll be talking to him shortly.
Yeah, as soon as he gets this thing parked, and maybe we won't catch him getting his drink after that hard-fought win there. Had some fortunate moments there with the 2 fastest cars behind him, getting a little bit of a situational issue and getting loose and spinning out. So it doesn't. No credit taken away though. That first 8 laps or so was hard fought, well deserved there by Langston to take the thing home for the final transfer spot. He is out of his vehicle. We're gonna see if we can bring him in real quick for our final interview this evening. See if we can find him in the chat right there. He is Mr. Jeff Langston. You got a copy?
I do.
Welcome to the Nerd TV booth. Congratulations on taking home the final transfer spot in the Monday night's All-Star event. Congratulations to you. How did you get the job done, man? How did you get yourself in position for the final 10 laps?
Final 10 laps, I just took a gamble, took 2 tires, started out front, and just stayed out there. Car felt pretty good, actually, on 2, much better than I thought it would.
Yeah, you were up front the majority of the race, all 3 segments, battling out for the lead. Came down to the last segment, which you were able to fill that final spot. How'd the car feel all night since you were able to complete all 60 laps?
In the second stage there, when I was racing side by side with Steve, I think I just burnt my right front off. We were running too hard, but car felt good. With a fixed setup, it's a little snap loose, but no, it was good, lots of fun.
Yeah, that was some of the best racing I've seen in a while, especially that stage 2 put on a crazy show for us, being 2 wide, 2 rows deep, just nose to tail. Awesome work. So great racing by you. I think this is your first time in the booth here talking to us on Nerd TV. So there's got to be someone out there that watches this with you that you'll love to give a shout out to.
Yeah, my teammates Steve Vrooman and Andy Palicki. So yeah, shout out to those guys.
Awesome, man. Yeah, congratulations once again. We will be seeing you Monday night as you are the final entry into the All-Star event.
All right. Thank you.
You are welcome. And that was your stage 3 winner, Mr. Jeff Langston. So it's going to be Chad Lang, it's going to be Wayne Grossi, and Jeff Langston, your 3 winners tonight that will be transferring to Monday's event. That's going to set the field. Other than tomorrow, we're not broadcasting the qualifying event that's going on tomorrow night for this league, but we will be here for every lap and then some for the All-Star event next Monday at 9 p.m. Kenny, what's your thoughts on these 87s here at Charlotte?
It was a great race overall. I'm more excited than I was before for the All-Star race on Monday. Great feel. We've had a lot of requests out there in the chat, in the race chat after the race. A lot of people wanting this to replace the next gen. So you never know what the future might hold. I mean, Brody might hear everything and might bring it out. So like you said, I have to stay tuned and see what's going on. But definitely a lot of people liking the racing in the 87, including myself.
I mean, he doesn't like the next gen, and everybody loves these. So, time will tell. And Nicholas Casey coming in the chat saying, "Attaboy, Jeff. Getting the job done for him." His pick came through. So, yeah, congratulations once again to Mr. Langston for finishing out the race in first place. As always, it's a little bit of a different broadcast, but we always have to close out thanking the people that allow us to do this. And we've shouted out almost all of our sponsors at this point. So, Mr. Langston, I'm going to change it up here. The only people that we did not shout out individually is going to be iRacing iFlag. So I'm going to throw them up first. iRacingIFlag.com. You saw their logo up on the screen 5 times every time that caution flag came out. That is that blinking logo that you see in the upper right hand corner on the tower system. It's a 3D printed device. It gives you over 30 different notifications that iRacing throws at you, all your caution flags, all your spotter commands. Pretty cool, one of a kind system, not very expensive at all, but it's super bright. It's going to keep you focused on whatever's in front of you. That's going to go to iRacingIFlag.com. Make sure you use Super Nerd at checkout for 15% off. And then I'm going to run down my normal order afterwards. Thank you, Full Throttle Sim Racing, for letting us do this for you guys twice a week, every week, even though there's no time off except for week 6. Well, that's fine with me because this league's awesome to call in. I love to be here. Get registered. They have 4 series coming up for Season B of 2022. Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So just kind of pick your poise and see where you want to end up. Doesn't matter which one you choose. It's going to be great racing all around. And you're going to go to FTSR.net. Sim Racing Points, the official series sponsor of the Truck Series and of Nerditudes. It's just your points league management system. It's going to keep everything pretty well tight for you as far as organization of all your stats and points. Go to simracingpoints.com, check out their pricing plans. Quick shout out to Martin Sports You're going to go to martinsports906.com, pre-order some of the Nerd Swag Gauntlet gloves. The most nerdy gloves you'll ever wear on your hand once they come out. Got that, that pixelated look, the green and black. It's an awesome combination. It's going to get you some wins too. It's going to keep your hands super dry. Once again, martinsports906.com. Use Super Nerd at checkout for 25% off anything really that you pick up from his website. Shout out to The Butt Kicker, official audio enhancement provider for the Nerditudes. D-Box experience for your sim rig, brings all the bumps and feels to the track into your seat. And you're going to experience that by going to thebuttkicker.com, purchase one of those units, and use Nerd TV at checkout, 20% off. Quick shout out as well to Nerd Focus, nerdfocus.com. You're going to save you 10% off when you use Super Nerd at checkout for their 2 drinks. Green is sugar, blue is sugar free. Not a bad option, whichever one you go with. Once again, it's going to be at nerdfocus.com. And then shout out as well to Moonlight Speed Concept, the official asphalt setup provider for the Nerditudes. And as well, houseofspeed.us. It's going to cover all your dirt setups. Both of those groups are professionally made setups from the ground up. It's going to bring you wins no matter what track you throw at it. So that's moonlightspeed.com and then also houseofspeed.us. All right, that's going to wrap up tonight's broadcast for the All-Star Open event. As we saw, 3 drivers, Chad Lang, Wayne Grossi, and Jeff Langston, take home the W's, and lock themselves into Monday night's event. And that's where you're going to catch us next on Nerd TV. So make sure to stay tuned for that race. That's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. And you saw this race. This is a pretty badass race. A lot of fun for a short amount of laps. So it's going to be all that and then more as they take home all the glory and bragging rights at Charlotte. So until then, stay tuned. Stay safe out there. And as always, get your nerd on.
Later, nerds.